SMT Nation, let me have a moment of your time so I could tell you a little bit about our partner, Southern New Hampshire University, otherwise known as SNHU. SNHU is a great opportunity for a lot of you out there to possibly embark on a new career training, all right, getting a degree in a field that could be financially rewarding and intrinsically rewarding as well. It's a school that can give you world-class student support so you never feel left out. They've got great opportunities and programs, job projection for growth, flexible term starts, 24/7 online accessibility. They also have a very extensive portfolio of degree programs with some of the lowest tuition rates across the country. And quite often you can transfer up to 90 credits toward any undergraduate degree that they offer. Different courses might include network security, application security, incident response, and investigation through their online BS and cybersecurity, one that I feel is quite compelling for a lot of you out there. So using our partner link down here in the description, as well as here on the screen, you guys can see it, snhu.edu/sneed. You can check out their programs, get more information, register for courses, and sign up for your future. Consider SNHU for your future coursework needs and getting a career in something very rewarding. Check them out, link is in the description. SMT Nation, we back. Hey, I'm testing the Verizon network here. I'm in Fairview Park. This was kind of sort of a request. Big shout out to Vin, who has been having some trouble with the Verizon signal in this area. So not to be weird or anything, but I'm testing in his neck of the woods. I just want to see what the Verizon network is doing over here because they've got towers here. They've got a small cell that's like, I'd say probably about 3/4 mile away. I don't think it reaches here. There's two macros. There's a very large macro off of Clegg Road, I-480. And then there's another ginormous macro that's like loaded with tower gear from everybody. Just, what would that be, north of here by like a mile, maybe a mile and a quarter. So I have a feeling it's kind of sort of edge cell for him here. And you can kind of see I'm connected to a mid-band channel, but it's a skinny one, right? It's 5 megahertz of band 2 on LTE. So that's probably explains why, he's getting marginal service here. All right, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to just drive through the street and we're going to monitor the RSRP, that's the signal strength. And another thing that's important to note sometimes, and I think this is probably what he's experiencing, is that his SINAR, which is the noise to signal ratio, is probably through the roof, because he's on edge cell and the signal is weak. You're getting far too much noise relative to the signal strength. All right, you'll see that the RSRP is pretty high, right? And the density here is good. I just think that maybe this neighborhood is kind of sort of in between sectors and in between sites. So you're getting kind of that null zone experience where it's kind of like on the edge of the lobes of these sectors. So we're hanging around here above 100 RSRP, right? The higher the RSRP, the weaker the signal. And I'm not really sure about the SINAR per se, but if the SINAR is close to 0, if it's like under 5, if it's negative, you're going to have problems. So the signal quality here is the trouble, right? And that's going to impact your throughput. The noisier the signal, the noisier the connection, the weaker the RSRP, the less throughput you get. Okay, so that's what I think, Vin is experiencing. So while we're holding to mid-band, you guys will see now we switched to AWS, and that's more bandwidth, which is good. You're not going to get great performance here, great throughput. So unfortunately, that being said, he's probably going indoors and he's moving from the mid-band to the low band. And that may or may not help, right? Because the low band channels are skinnier, you have less bandwidth, although the signal quality may possibly improve. That's the 5G situation here. You're connecting to what I'm assuming is the 850 megahertz, band 5. And it's just less than ideal. And while it's aggregating with the AWS and the PCS, you're probably getting something like 5-10 megabits, maybe 15 outdoors. So we haven't tested that yet. What I think I'll do is I'll loop around and I'll test and I'll see what type of throughput we get on 5G, and then what we'll do is we'll come back and we'll test it on LTE and see if that helps. You never know. Sometimes with DSS, that nationwide 5G setup, you lose throughput. All right. Now you'll see when I'm here on the main street on 220. All right. You can kind of see I kind of got on the busy part of the street. The signal strength improves. That's why I believe we're on edge cell in between kind of, nodes and sectors. So let's go ahead and do this. You'll see the AWS is going to drop off. I think we're switching too. I think we're going from the macro that's back this way towards the freeway, and we're switching over to the one that's over in the plaza by the bowling alley and stuff. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and do this. We'll just run some speed tests as we're driving through the neighborhood, and then what I'll do is once I get to the edge of the street, I'll come back in LTE mode. Yeah, see, I suspected this, right? Yep. Not much throughput, right? You go inside, and there's not much there. Yeah, so this is simply just a problem area for Verizon. They're just not going to be good here. And it's not because of lack of density. It's literally a situational location. Right, 20 megabits down, 3 megabits up. Folks, when you go indoors on that, you're going to have trouble, You could probably place calls. You could probably send text messages, no problem. Here we started picking up the 5G Ultrawide right on the end of the street. So behind me, you got problems. On the end of the street, you're good, right? The throughput picks up a lot. Up, we lost it. So I'm guessing the tower site is probably back that way about a mile or something like that. All right, so 89 ping. Jitter is very high. Yeah, this is an edge cell situation. 133 down and 3 up. Everything is edge cell here. All right, so we'll run a third test as we kind of make our way through these sites, through the sides of the street. Yeah, it's bad here again, right? Wow. He might even reside here on this side of the street. Wow. Yeah, it's dropping off. You go inside and this performance might be useless. It really, really could be. We're back on the end of the street here on 220th. Wow. 11 down and 2 up, 3 up. See, now we're on the end of the street and you're getting a better signal. I wonder if he resides on those two parts where the quality is just poor. All right, so let's go ahead and put this into LTE. My trick is to just put it into battery saver, and it jumps into LTE. Okay, we'll see if the Band 13 offers any improvements. What? Ooh. Looks like we're picking up the CBRS, folks, on the end of the street. Man, Vin, you are just in a bad spot, bro. It's literally part of your neighborhood that has no signal. It's like half the street. That's some of the wildest stuff I've ever seen. Look when I get on 220th. 220 megs down. Like 37 up. Oh, man. Okay, so I'm back on the end of the start of his street. I'm going to go ahead and start testing here again. Give it the drive. But you were picking up the CBRS there. 220 down and 37 up. All right, so we're on the entry of the street. You see, it falls off. Yeah, I think it's just the sector edge, man. You're on the edge of the lobe, as they say. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, you can look up, sector lobe on Google, and you can see the images on how these signals propagate from these cell towers and these antennas. 16 down, 2 or 3 up. So that doesn't really change our experience. The ping looks good. Everything's clean. Otherwise, there's just not a lot of throughput. Let's run another one here. Wow, man. So if your house is kind of in between these locations where the throughput's just weak, see, look at that loaded latency. It's spiking. The jitter's got a spike. The throughput's like absent. 8 down. Wow. you might need a booster. Maybe it might help. I don't even know if it'll help, bro. I really don't. It might not. The reason it might not is you might be just getting a noisy signal. Boosting a noisy signal doesn't change the outcome. 8 down and 2 up. All right, I'm stopping at the stop sign here. Wow, man. Okay. That's unfortunate. That is unfortunate. Half of this street has almost unusable signal, probably indoors. And even outdoors, it's very limited. By the way, they gotta like redo these streets, man. These streets are trash. 5 down, 2 up. Wow, man. That is tough, man. That's unfortunate. Man, that is tough, man. 5, 6 down, 2 up. And now I'm at the end of the street back on 220. And this is usually the part where we start picking up the higher bandwidth frequencies. Right? And there you have it. Boom, you got your throughput. We're probably picking up the CBRS again. Right? Let's see. Yep. 20, 20, 20, 20, and 5. So that's 20 megahertz of band 5, and then you got 60 of the CBRS, band 48, and then 5 megahertz of band 2. Oh, man. I'm sorry, Vin. I don't think they're going to be able to help you. I don't even know if a booster could help. Look how strong the signal is here. Right? Full bars. Right? Now we're in the 90s, lower number being better. Wow. And it's failing because I keep running it and then exiting. All right, Vin. Anyways, I hope this helps you kind of understand your situation. I think it's a situation where you're in between sectors, right, in a null zone, and you're also in between cell sites. And you're just on the edge of the lobe, so it's very useful on the edge of your neighborhood, but it's next to useless indoors, probably, on edge cell within like your home. It's great at the edge of the street. That is crazy. Just bad luck, man. Consider maybe trying some other carriers if it becomes a problem indoors. I'd say AT&T might be worth a go. They've got a macro serving on those same locations. Maybe one of their sectors is pointing right at your house, and that could improve the signal quality. Maybe even T-Mobile, right? It's worth a shot. In fact, you could kind of see it at the end of the street there. The AT&T macro over at the VFW. It's right there in the backdrop. All right, so hopefully this helps you understand what's going on with your location, Vin. Hopefully it helps, and hopefully you guys learned something as well, the SMT community. Thanks for watching. If you guys want to do the channel a favor, like, share, and if it's your first time here, subscribe. Comment your experiences with Verizon if you're in a similar situation to that, and what it's been like for you. Anyways, we out this piece. Peace.